All right. Welcome to this pause for practice. Thank you for joining me. I know I need it so often, and this is about creating a community of practice where we can drop in and we can all build our capacity to weave practices that bring us more into our present moment, primarily, to open up our perception to our inner landscape and to all that we are situated among and in relationship with, and to be able to show up in ways that are more emergent, authentic of the moment, and less intervened upon by um, conditioning and woundings from the past, and fears and anxieties of the future that often come out of the conditioning and the wounding of the past. Okay, so thank you for joining me. And I don't know about you, but I've been out in the world the last few days, and that energy around the holidays of just the anticipation there, people feel crazed. To me, there's a hecticness, there's a rushing, there's an urgency. I think we all have a lot on our plates as it is, and a lot on our hearts as it is. And then to add the expectations and the many chores that come into preparing for this holiday season, whatever and however you observe or celebrate, whatever culture or tradition you are or are not operating within, we can be carrying that. So in this time, I'd like to invite us to really be in relationship with that in a way that hopefully can help us to show up for ourselves and for those that we will encounter who may be carrying that kind of energy in a way that is more responsive and beneficial. So take a moment. I'm going to have a chair behind me, but I'm going to start standing. And as always, if you feel like you've been sitting and you want to stand, you want to stand the whole time, you can, and stretch. You can, modify or accentuate anything that I offer as a suggestion to meet yourself where you are with your accessibility, and whatever's going on for you in this moment. So whether you're seated, standing, or lying, I invite you to take a moment and just lift your eyes from the screen if they are on the screen. And just if there is a window nearby, I might encourage you to take a turn if you need to turn your body to be able to look out that window. And if not, then you can just look as far off. Maybe there's an image in your space that kind of brings the out of doors inside, or maybe you close your eyes and bring into your mind's eye a place out of doors. It could be the space just beyond the walls you're in, your yard, or the surrounding area. Or it could be a place that you feel that sense of connection with, that can help you just situate yourself for a moment more fully within the web of life. And then as you do this, whether you're choosing to have your eyes closed and visualize this inside yourself or have your eyes open, just invite you to begin to sort of breathe in more deeply, more fully, and place your breath in whatever part of your body is touching the surface of the earth. And really breathe into that. For me, right now, it's my legs and my feet. For you, if you're seated, it might be your seat, it might be your back. And for the next few breaths, just really breathing in and moving the breath down and in to that point of contact, and just feeling that sense of touch more fully with each breath. And as you do, just imagine, and this may even be true in some sense, that you are in training the pattern of your breath and your connection with Earth to the Earth's breathing itself. A friend of mine talks about the tides, the waves coming in and going out as being the breath of Earth, that it is her breath that moves the waves in this pattern. So just feeling into that and just noticing what happens as you do that. If your breath pattern begins to shift or settle, to take a certain rhythm, maybe it's one you're familiar with, maybe it's one that feels unique to this moment. And then with the next few breaths, keeping that sense, you don't have to change your breath at all, but just bringing the awareness and attention of where your breath is sort of focusing into your low belly, into the area of your pelvic floor, your reproductive, sensual, sexual energies. In the yogic tradition, this is the element of water. And just allow that same breath pattern that is entrained with the earth's breath itself to move in and through this area of your body, focusing your attention below the belly button, above the pelvic floor. And you might feel a sense of the breath moving from the center in a kind of orb shape, inhaling, letting that center of you, this watery aspect of you, the emotions, feelings, just let that ebb and flow, expanding, opening fluidly on the inhale, and just gently settling, relaxing, drawing back toward the center on the exhale. Just taking a few more breaths like this in silence and just noticing what you notice. And then with the next breath, not changing the pattern of your breath, but just moving the emphasis of where your attention is placed and moving up towards your heart space. So your physical heart, your lungs, your rib cage, your arms, the heart chakra and the yogic tradition is the element of air, and it's the center of giving and receiving. So including the arms, the way that we touch the world with our physical touch, our hands, so often, you know, the means by which we touch the world, our words moving on, our breath, and the impact they have on the world outside of us, our inner dialogue that has such a resonance impact on our inner landscape. And just breathing in this way, feeling that sense of the breath really moving from the center of your heart space. And you might feel I'm naturally sort of expanding my arms here, and you feel inclined, take this opportunity to let that breath bring a shape, bring a movement with it as it feels good to do so. I'm doing some expansions of my arms and some wrapping my arms around myself, and just in silence, about 4 or 5 more breaths in this way, just feeling into that element of air as you breathe. Feel into your own heart space, your relationship with giving and receiving. Maybe with the next few breaths left, feeling into that, bringing into balance your opening, your offering, your extending yourself towards others. And then as you exhale, this gathering of the ways that people extend towards you, and bringing more of a receptivity into that, and just noticing what you notice as you are invited into this little reflection on giving and receiving, what arises. Some of us tend to, last time, open up. Some of us tend to be more on the giving end. We like to do for others. It makes us feel good and connected. It can be more challenging to let others extend towards us. And some of us are really good at receiving, and our tendency to extend towards others is perhaps where we want to just expand and open. So last breath, just opening. Just feel like a real, with your movement, if you're moving, with your breath itself, if you're, well, you are breathing, feeling that sense of bringing that into balance, and then opening up and just noticing what you notice. And then with the next breath, let now the attention and awareness drop down from the heart into the solar plexus, into the diaphragm. And just breathing here, this in the yogic energetic anatomy is Manipura, where the fire element sits with our digestion, our stomach, our liver, our gallbladder, our intestines. And just breathing in here and feeling that all of these elemental centers and all of this connection to ourselves and to earth through our legs, to the waters and the emotions through our low belly, to the air, and giving and receiving in relationship at our hearts, and then now into that fire in our bellies. And just taking the few breaths here. And just inviting an opportunity to attune to this alchemical flame in your own system. This place where what we intake is digested, and what is nourishing is retained and used in the body, and what is waste and unuseful is passed out, eliminated. And just take a moment and feel into, we all have them, right? We all have these patterns that arise out of our conditioned experience, whether it's familial, social, all of it, that the holidays can really bring forward, whether it's the expectations, the socializing, the gift giving or receiving, the family gatherings, the desire for a quality of longing, and or the desire and the longing for a quality of connection and care. You know, these things go back deep. So just taking a moment and noticing what you notice in your body as I just even drop that suggestion, right, of what the holidays carry for us, what they bring forward. what might activate within us. And just taking a moment and noticing if it's a physical sensation, if it's a thought, a memory, and just with a sense of real, like, intent for care and shift, offer that. Like, it's like you gather it wherever it is in your body or your mind, and you offer it down into your own alchemical flame, into your digestive system. Trusting your body, trusting your system to be able to alchemize it and to retain whatever is nourishing in terms of a lesson or something that is valuable in that experience, and to discard and eliminate any emotional charge, any patterned charge around it, behavioral tendencies, and just to drop it through and let it be eliminated from your system. Just doing with this with the intention that it can support you to shift ever so slightly, perhaps, or even quite notably, in the way that you move through the next few days in anticipation of this and those beyond. And you can go back to this. There will be a recording of this. You want to continue to work with this through the season so that you can be empowered with your own agency, with your skillfulness of practice and your devotion to helping to clear your system from whatever you may be carrying into holidays 2025 that doesn't belong or that doesn't serve, that might cause a repetition of something in the past that you would like to not repeat. And just take a moment and take a few more breaths right into that fire in your belly, and just in some way, whether it's like you've dropped a piece of paper in there that had this experience or tendency written on it, and you just kind of feel it or see it in your mind's eye. Some of us are more visual, some of us are more kinesthetic, or maybe you hear the crackling of it. If you're more auditory, maybe a combination. Just really feel it releasing, being burned away, digested, lessons retained, destructive or negative emotional charges, patterned behaviors released. And then with the next inhale, just let your hands come from your sides or from wherever they are, drawn down, and inhale up, stretching your arms up high above you. Big stretch. It's like you're stretching and making room to emerge from this sort of shifted, altered, like a butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. Something has happened here that is bringing you forward differently. And take your hands to your forehead in Anjali Mudra, if that feels appropriate, or however you want, but just focusing here at the third eye, at the cerebral area of your body. And just breathing here, may this practice support a freedom in your mind and an openness, possibility, and perspective to be in a different relationship with something that's challenging for you around the holidays, to show up differently, to think differently. And with the next exhale, just take your thumbs down around your nose to your lips. And just taking a pause here, may this practice support you to shift the inner dialogue and the outer spoken words that to communicate differently around whatever this is that you are releasing and shifting, alchemizing. Take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, trace the throat down the sternum to the heart and just bow to your heart. May this practice support you to approach this holiday season with a sense of balance in the giving and the receiving, to take pleasure in both, to release whatever you need to release to be more balanced in this way. And then just releasing your hands. And thank you for joining me. I hope to see you soon in some space. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night.